finally, the board, Tesla board comes out and pays Elon despite the court case, them being sued because of a stupid guy with 9 shares in Delaware. But they came out and they're doing something which is flippin' awesome. That's right. Tesla drops a big bombshells about Elon's pay package, and Tesla investors are loving this. They're absolutely loving this. The speculation of Elon leaving Tesla, which he would never have done in the first place, but there was a speculation of that, is now going to go away because the board is doing their best to pay him. Elon is going to be happy. He hasn't commented yet, but he's going to be extremely happy about this, even though it's not his full thing. It's only 1/3 of what he's supposed to get, his 96 million shares. He was supposed to get a little over 300 million, but they're working on it. Let's just get down to it because this is awesome. This was news out of nowhere. I flipping love it. Investors are loving this. So smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, because this means I'll save that for the end of the video. I'm just so excited, man. Let's flip into this. So, of course, Tesla or the board of directors, Robin here, writes this on X. It's a lot to read. It's a lot to read. So we're just going to skip it down to the important part, and we're going to just read this part and, talk about what this thing is, what it is, and why it's so bullish. The special committee believes now is the right time to take decisive action to recognize the extraordinary value that Elon created for Tesla shareholders. As such, the board, with Elon and Kimball Musk recusing themselves, has unanimously approved a recommendation from the special committee of the board to grant Elon an award of restricted stock equal to approximately 1/3 of the compensation he earned under the 2018 CEO Performance Award. Now, a restricted stock is pretty much an award from the company, but set to certain conditions, which we're going to get to right now. The award provides the following provisions: 96 million restricted shares of stock subject to Elon paying a purchase price upon meeting a 2-year vesting term to be delivered after receipt of antitrust regulatory approval. So this means Elon has to be in Tesla for at least 2 years before he can exercise these 96 million shares. So it's not right now, but 2 years vesting time. The purchase price will equal to the split adjusted exercise price of the stock options award to Elon under the 2018 CEO Performance Award, $23.34 per share. I just want to stop right here just for a second. This is just ridiculous that Tesla has to literally go around and Elon has to wait 2 years to exercise these options. This should have been done literally years ago. And it sucks that it's in court right now in Delaware, and McCrupt, I've already made so many videos on this, how Elon checkmated her pretty much. She's pretty much done, which is why she's taking so long to do a ruling. But it's great that Tesla is coming out and doing this, but it's just ridiculous that it has to be like this. It's this way. You know what I mean? It just sucks. A requirement that Elon serve continuously in a senior leadership role at Tesla during the 2-year vesting term, a pledging allowance to cover tax payments or the purchase price, a mandatory holding period for 5 years from the grant date, except to cover tax payments of the purchase price, which with any sales for such purposes to be conducted through an orderly disposition in coordination with Tesla. So hold on a second. If he exercises this in 2 years, which will be in 2027, he can't sell them until 2032. That's insane. And if the Delaware courts fully reinstate the 2018 CEO Performance Award, this interim award will be forfeited or returned, or a portion of the 2018 CEO Performance Award will be forfeited. To put it simply, there cannot be any double dip. Elon will not be able to keep this new award in addition to the options he will be awarded under the 2018 CEO Performance Award should the courts rule in our favor. In other words, that if Mick Krupp says, okay, we did a big mistake and you can pay Elon the full thing, then Tesla has already paid Elon 1/3 of it, so the other 2/3 will be paid to him as well. So this was great. This was awesome news. And shout out to James Stevenson for really breaking this down like as if we're like 5 years old. Well, okay, not 5 years old, but in plain English, this is what he wrote. Tesla's board wants to go ahead and let Elon purchase 96 million shares of Tesla stock, which is about a little less than 32% as many shares as he was originally promised he could buy if he achieved growth targets for revenue, profits, and stock price so ambitious that most experts at the time agreed he couldn't achieve them, which was true. Back in 2018, it was like, if you can bring the stock to like 600 billion or 700 billion market cap, you can get this. Elon brought it up to 1.2 trillion. And nobody at that time was agreeing that, man. And in fact, no CEO would have accepted this type of pay package. That, hey, if I don't do this, I don't get a single penny. But Elon agreed. Like that's just, I would be fuming if I would agree to these terms, that I will work my balls off. And I know that if I can't achieve these targets, I won't get a single penny. But then when I do it, and I do deserve it, some jackass comes and puts me and sues me, and I can't get it. Like, I'll be fuming. I will be upset. I will be fuming. But I'm glad that the Tesla board is doing this. And again, this is a deal that no other CEO would accept. I mean, the CEO of Lucid, who's burning cash, just got rewarded hundreds of millions of dollars in compensation package. Why isn't he being sued? Why isn't a dude with 9 shares suing him, right? It's just very ridiculous. He continues and says, at the originally promised strike price per share, which was the same $350 per share, anybody could have paid for Tesla stock in early 2018, but it is now $23.33 after adjusting for stock splits. Elon Musk would pay $2.24 billion for 96 million shares that will be worth almost $30 billion at today's $308 market value, but would immediately need to sell 36.2 million shares to pay the federal income tax he would immediately owe, which is about $11.2 billion based on the 37% top individual income tax rate, plus the 3.8% NIIT at a capital gains base of that number you can see at $27 billion, breaking the all-time record for most taxes ever paid in a single year by any person to any government. Again, Elon Musk doing this for the second time. Because last time he paid, I think it was 11 billion. Now he's gonna be paying, that's a lot of money. That's like what? 27.4. Oh, it's 420 and 69. I didn't even realize that. But that's an insane amount of number. That is an insane amount of number. Then, if the Delaware Supreme Court overturns McCorrupt's decision, meaning Tesla will be allowed to honor Elon's original compensation agreement, the 96 million shares he already purchased would be considered in advance and would be deducted from the maximum amount of shares he originally agreed to work for the chance to buy. And you can see the calculations on the screen. But if the Delaware Supreme Court decides to uphold that decision and risk a mass exodus from Delaware by any company that doesn't want to be sued by their own shareholders for remaining incorporated in Delaware and thus risking having the expressed wishes of shareholders overturned by political activists, judges who think they know how to run companies better than the people who own them. And it's already happening already. We're seeing a lot of companies exiting Delaware. But nonetheless, if this actually turns and the judge, McCorrupt, doesn't do it in our favor, RIP Delaware. Elon won't get any compensation for his work at Tesla in 2018 and 2025 beyond the right to purchase those 96 million shares at the originally promised price. Bro, I mean, if she actually overturns it, just all that hard work and promise and a deal is a deal means nothing in Delaware, which I'm very glad that it's in Texas, because nobody with 9 shares can now sue you for it. You need to have 3% of the company, at least, to sue. And in Tesla's case, you need to have 100 million shares, which is billions of dollars, to even start suing anybody. So I don't know why Delaware has that anyway, even with a single share you can sue. It's just ridiculous. That doesn't seem it's fair. But I'm glad that's why it's in Texas and it's more secure there. And James Stevenson ends off by saying this, and the board is still working on a forward-looking compensation plan to keep Elon as Tesla's CEO in the future, but the proposal will be announced between now and the November shareholders meeting, where investors will have the opportunity to vote on them. And for sure, 100% is going to be passed. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome compensation plan where it goes like, hey, it's going to be trenches again. Like if you do 2 trillion, you get this much. If you bring the valuation to 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 5 trillion, I think the maximum in this case would be between 5 to 10 trillion. I don't know. That'd be insane. If I see 10 trillion on that compensation package, that's going to be flipping awesome. 10 trillion is like a stock price of over $3,100 per share. But they are definitely working on this in Texas, and in Texas, it's more friendly than in Delaware and in other parts, in other states as well. So that's what has happened today. And I love it. Tesla investors are happy. I'm sure Elon is somewhat happy. Of course, if I was in his position, I want my full thing. That a deal's a deal. I want the whole thing. But if I'm Elon and I see that the board is really trying and the shareholders are really trying to get me paid and getting me my 25% vote, because again, that's what he needs. He needs a 25% vote. And here's the bad news about this, guys. Even with this 96 million and after taxes, I think Elon will only get 1.5% more. That's it. I mean, from a 16.8% that he owns right now, he would probably own maybe somewhere in the 18% ranges, right? If he gets to 2/3 of it, of course, after tax, he would get maybe another 2-3%, which would only mean like 20% or something like that. It's not much. He needs another 4%, 5%. And I've already covered a video on how I think this is going to be okay. You guys can check the video right here. But what does this mean, guys? It means there's a new compensation package coming for Tesla, or for Elon from Tesla. And it gives a boost to confidence to Elon that, no, they've got my back. People really want to get me paid. They care about me. And most importantly, the speculation of Elon leaving Tesla, that's down the drain. That was an overhang, by the way. So this will definitely help the stock as well going forward. Some people are calling this a pump time because this is one big overhang that's now being lifted. That's now, getting rid of it. So sheesh, it's awesome. You know what else is awesome? I bought CERN back and we revised our 2035 stock price prediction and we went more deep in robotaxis. It was awesome. Check the podcast right here. Grab your popcorn because it's awesome. Subscribe, guys. Become a channel member. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.